Alright guys, Brash from 3X Softball. It's time for vlog number 7. I said I'd start these back up again. Been super busy, swamped with program and college and just craziness going on. But I'll keep this vlog going, get some more content out. I'm writing articles, the program's coming. I talked about that in the last episode. I heard that walking around is kind of distracting with these. The reason I do these outside, I finally realized, is that I'm in a family of 5 other people, and there's no peace and quiet in that house. That's just the reality. So it's nice and quiet out here in the yard. I can talk to you guys. So that's just the easiest way for me to do these. So today on the episode, I'm going to talk about kind of the formula to 60 plus mile an hour pitching velocity for softball fast pitch. What is the formula? Why does it work? And what's kind of the support behind this? So when I look at a pitcher and I see why they're throwing as hard as they do, I'm going to look at basically 3 key factors when determining this. One is going to be mobility, size, athletic data, basically. So it's going to be how they move, how big they are, how athletic they are, and that's going to be a wider array of measurements. So I'm going to measure things ranging from hip internal, external rotation to arm internal, external rotation. I'm going to gather as much information as I can about this person's body before I decide or figure out why they're throwing as hard as they do or what they need to improve on. So mobility, or how your body's built and shaped, is going to be a key factor to determining how hard you throw. So if you're trying to throw hard, but your non-dominant hip flexion is really weak, well, you're not going to be able to get a good landing leg drive because the external rotation and flexion is going to be so poor that you won't be able to do that. So you can just find correlations with these things. These things are correlated with studies as well. Body mass highly correlates to athleticism in female athletes. So I'm going to gather all that data, mobility, size, just everything about your body, and then next I'm going to gather everything that has to do with your athleticism. So how quick you can move, your power, your strength, your athletic data. That's going to include things like broad jump, vertical leap, 10-yard sprint, 60-yard sprint, things like that are going to test your athleticism. That's going to show me, how athletic are you and how well are you able to move on the field. How well are you able to use your athleticism? Then the third thing that I'm going to measure is your biomechanics, your mechanical data. So how well you move on the mound, how efficient you are transferring energy you create, how good are you taking that energy, transferring it to the ball and getting the ball speed you need. I'm going to bust kind of a myth here. A lot of people think that what's just holding them back is mechanics from throwing hard. It's like, I just need a few mechanical tips, and then I'll throw 60. I just need that little trick, the shortcut to throw 60 miles an hour. I just need someone to come along and say, oh, you're not turning your foot the right way or something, and then bam, I'm going to throw 60 miles an hour. That almost never happens. I'm going to say never happens. Unless you're an athletic freak, but you don't know how to pitch at all, that's not going to happen. The reason you're not throwing as hard or you're not moving with the correct mechanics is usually either going to be an athleticism limitation or mobility limitation. Rarely is it going to be you don't understand the mechanics. Now, some of you out there probably don't understand the mechanics of what a high velocity pitcher is, and that's what the 3X softball program is for, to teach you how to do these things. But just because I teach you and I show you and you try and do these things doesn't mean you're going to have success at executing these mechanics correctly. It requires a lot of athleticism, a lot of mobility to be able to perform these mechanics. So if you don't have those components, it's going to be really difficult for you to pull that off. So I'm not saying mechanics is important. Mechanics is extremely important when it comes to high velocity pitcher. It's going to make you the most efficient as possible. It's going to take every ounce of power you have in your body and it's going to transfer that to the ball. So it's very important. But rarely is a mechanical issue just simply you don't understand. It's usually when the athletes I see, they're trying to throw harder, their strength is really poor. They have some mobility deficiencies. their strength is really poor. They're not very fast. They just don't have the athleticism going on, which is common. And that's why in a program like the 3X softball program, it's going to incorporate a lot of athletic training, sprints, plyometrics, weightlifting, everything to try and combat that. In later levels of the program, we'll get more in depth into mobility and things like that, which are, can be difficult to conquer sometimes. So, how do I use this formula? Well, I collect all that data, those 3 things I talked about. I'm going to collect all that, and then I'm going to figure out what your deficiencies are. So what is holding you back? And if you want, I'll give you a free evaluation right now because the program's not out. If you find this video and you want an evaluation of your softball pitching, why you're not throwing hard, you don't know, send me as much of that data as possible. I'll give you a list of everything I would need. Send me as much of that as possible, and then I'll try and help identify those deficiencies. So I could look at an athlete and maybe go, okay, they got some decent mechanics here, some decent strength, athleticism numbers, but I see the mobility is just really poor, and that's what's holding you back. Or, yeah, you got good mobility, you move decent on the mound, you just move way too slow. You're not athletic enough, you don't have any strength, so it's really not translating to the ball. You need to add lots of lean mass, things like that. So it's a lot more complicated than that, but that's kind of to sum up. That's kind of what I do. That's how I evaluate an athlete. My sister, who trains through the programs right now, my early beta versions, I just took her, I just got all the data I could and went, here's the problems, here's how we're going to fix them, and she's seen a lot of good gains from that. So that's what I hope to do with all the athletes, is really when you buy the program, you're not just going to buy a program, you're not just going to buy a manual with videos, you're buying my coaching and my time. So don't just think, all right, you bought the program, you're cut off, have fun. That's not what I believe is a good approach. So you buy the program, you buy me as a coach, and I'm here to help. So that's going to be kind of the basis for that. So that's kind of the basics of the formula I have for throwing 60 plus. If you're interested in that, my website's coming up soon, or it'll already be up when I upload this video. And I'll try to help you the best I can. All right, I'll see you tomorrow for the next episode. Thanks for watching.